Yeah, part 3, synchronicity in music. Um, yeah, a weird thing happened on another song that really struck a chord with me. I'll tell you that whole story. This is probably going to be a mind-blowing one, really, one that you can really get concrete evidence for. It's back in 2002. I'm bipolar, and that probably switched quite a few people off now. But anyway, this tune came out on XFM. They had a session on there, and they were live, I think. So ended up in hospital, and my brother brought me the CD and it had this track on it. It's called "We Are Your Friends" by Simeon. There was a cover version done of it a few years afterwards, but that wasn't as good. But anyway, my brother brought this magazine that had a free CD from XFM with this session track on it, and it always struck a chord with me because I was a little bit high, and they term it as psychosis, but I don't believe in that really. I think that's a word that psychiatrists use to just describe something they can't explain, basically. But this song was playing, and I heard it a few times, and I had a big connection with radio stations and music, and a few DJs that I was emailing, and not getting much response from, but well, apart from the pirate radio scene, which I got a big response from, and I was hearing this tune quite regularly, and things went a bit pear-shaped, and ended up in hospital. And my brother brought me the magazine with the CD with this song on. It's called "We Are Your Friends" by Simeon. I just said that, repeating myself there. But basically, at the time I started hearing it, I thought that the DJs were basically sending me a message saying, "We are your friends, you'll never be alone again," which is kind of how it's worked out, really, because DJs that I've listened to over the years have moved around radio stations. They've all ended up at the same one, BBC Six Music. So I go there quite a lot, like Lauren Laverne and Sean Keaveney. Mainly Lauren Laverne, because she's quite hot. Hope she don't see this. I think I'm some sort of stalker, you don't know. But anyway, yeah, this song was playing, and I thought it was a message from the DJs. This is going to sound mad. That's how I felt. I know it's a bit of a weird thought, really, one that not many people would get, but it just seemed to really strike a chord with me, this tune. And anyway, it was played on Friday on Lauren Laverne's show. And there was another tune as well. They did a WOW signal for a satellite to broadcast out into space. And the song they chose wasn't that song, but it was another one from the time that really struck a chord with me as well. I forget what it's called now, but it's quite a long one. And basically, when I heard that, it used to sort of make me quite emotional. But this one, "We Are Your Friends" by Simeon, a few years later, well, when I got the computer and was trying to put it on Windows Media Player, so don't know why, just so I could have it on there. Basically, maybe oh yeah, I was going to upload it to my phone, try and use it as a ringtone, but you can't do that. You got to pay for ringtones. What a bloody rip-off that is! I tell her, you can't just upload a song from Windows Media Player and use it as a ringtone. That's a big con, really. But anyway, I was putting it on there, and I thought I'll post this on YouTube. But I've not figured out how to post music on YouTube yet from the CD because of digital rights management or something, DRM, and I've kind of given up on that now. So I recorded my stereo, playing a few songs, and they'd probably see it on my channel. That's my best effort, really. I don't know how you upload songs from CDs to YouTube. Maybe somebody can tell me. Send me a message on my channel. I know you use a Windows Media Player, but Windows Movie Maker, but I could make a movie, and I don't know how to make movies with clips and stuff like that. I'm more new to this, really. I mainly use it for music. So anyway, I was uploading this song to downloading, uploading, whatever you call it, to Windows Media Player, and I noticed that there was a video on there, and I thought it was a music CD, so I didn't see how you could put a video on a music CD. I suppose you can, but it's all complicated for me really. I couldn't work it out. But anyway, it was this song "We Are Your Friends" by Simeon, the video and everything. So I thought this is brilliant. I'll upload this to YouTube, but it didn't work. But it was already there anyway, and it had like 600,000 views. And I thought it was quite an obscure song, but a lot of people have viewed it on YouTube. So I was doing this anyway, and I discovered this video on there, and there's quite a few photographs in there as well on this free CD. It's blinding free CD really. That was another synchronicity really. My brother buying me the magazine, because I was an XFM listener. I don't think he even knew I was an XFM listener really. He might have done, but he sort of disregarded a lot of things I was doing at the time, because he just thinks I'm mad basically. He thinks I'm one crazy idiot really. But he's done some things in his time, so he can't talk really. But he don't get the whole thing with radio stations and music. He just thinks it's all well, irrational really. Basically, he's quite a rational person, so he likes to think, and he likes to think things through logically and come up with some sort of reasoned explanation. But I go more on my feelings and gut instinct really, and that's sort of kept me on the right track over the years, and done me a few favours really, kept me sort of focused, having that sort of attitude. So anyway, that was that, I thought. And then I was getting into music again over the last couple of days, putting the radio on, and they played "We Are Your Friends" by Simeon. It was on the Lauren Laverne show. So that was a major coincidence, but because this song wasn't hugely well known, I don't think. You probably contradict me there, but it wasn't a widely well known song. And it just, the way it came about being played on the radio at that time, brought all the memories back of when I was buzzing on radio stations and DJs and going on air live and getting off of my own show on Flashback on the pirate radio station when I was a bit high and manic. But yeah, so, and it really cheered me up, made my day really hearing that song. So I do email a few of the DJs now and again. I get a couple of replies, but obviously you must get loads of emails, so I don't hold my breath really. But I've got a lot of respect for DJs, because they obviously sort of bring the music to people through the airwaves, and I really appreciate it really, the way they do things. And Sean Keeping's show is well funny. If you listen to that on BBC Six Music, that's well funny. But yeah, he does some mad things on there really. But apart from that, can't think. Oh, another song that really sort of followed me around. They tend to follow. I use the term "follow me around." Obviously, that's probably the wrong sort of terminology, but it was called "I'll Bring You Flowers in the Pouring Rain" by Sweet Female Attitude. Sorry, weird sort of band title, whatever you want to call it. It's garage music, and I first got into garage music on Flashback Radio, and I had an entire show dedicated to me by Lady Alex and Lady Elizabeth. They weren't regular DJs, they just sort of appeared on there. And anyway, didn't think much of this, but I thought it was a nice song. I like garage tunes, and indie rock and stuff like that, but I was getting into garage at the time. And sort of 3 years later, I was in hospital. I met this guy called Simon, and we started playing our tunes, and the first thing he put on was this song. I couldn't believe it. And Simon was a really good mate. This is when I first met him though, but he turned out to be a really good mate. But he's had a hard life. He's got caught up in the system and probably never get out. But that song coming along at that time as well was absolutely unbelievable really, because I hadn't heard it for years, because I had recorded quite a few of the shows, but the tapes have been binned over the years, so I never had a record of the show that they dedicated to me. Shame really, because it was one hell of a night, I tell you, one party night that was really good. Went on for about 4 hours, probably longer than that, so I had a great time on there. And yeah, so that's it really, because the 10 minutes are up. So I'm going to try and keep this to 10 minutes, because I've got a feeling that you can't do them longer than that. Well, that's what I think anyway, probably wrong, but there you go. Anyway, any thoughts, let me know. You know where I am.